Getting beyond our body, our environment, and time isn't easy, but it's worth it, because once we disconnect from three-dimensional reality, we enter a whole other reality called the quantum, the realm of infinite possibility. Can you imagine? Now, describing this reality is a bit challenging because it's unlike any other we are familiar with in the physical universe. The rules of Newtonian physics, the way we've been taught, the way we are used to thinking the world works, simply doesn't apply in this universe. In other words, you can as well say the quantum field is the invisible field of the energy and information, space and time. Nothing physical or material exists there. Or simply put, it's beyond anything you can perceive with your senses. Yet, as strange as this may sound, the quantum field is not empty. It's an infinite field filled with frequencies or energy. So, think of the quantum field as being filled with infinite amount of energy vibrating beyond the physical world of matter and beyond our senses. Invisible waves of energy available for all of us to use in creation at any time. What then can we create with all this energy swimming in all an infinite sea of potentials? That's up to us, because in short, the quantum field is in the state in which all possibilities exist. And as I've just said, when we find ourselves in the quantum universe, we exist simply as an awareness or as an consciousness, specifically an awareness that is paying attention or observing a field of infinite possibility existing with an even greater consciousness and a greater level of energy. Digest that. When you walk through the doors of the quantum field, you can't enter as a somebody. You have to enter as a nobody, as only an awareness or a consciousness, a thought or a possibility, leaving behind everything else in the physical world and living only in the present moment. How do you turn one or more of those potentials, those things that you want to manifest, those immaterial possibilities into reality, into the three-dimensional world of matter? This requires two things: a clear intention and an elevated emotion. Remember that, a clear intention and an elevated emotion. Your clear intention is exactly what it sounds. You have to get clear on what it is you want to create, getting as specific as possible and describe it in details. Let's say you want to go on a great vacation. Where is it and where do you really want to go? How do you want to get there? Who do you want to go with, or who do you want to meet when you are there? What sort of accommodation do you want to stay in? What do you want to do or see when you are there? And remember this: those thoughts which you make up your intentions are the electrical charges you are sending out into the unified field. Having your intentions and desires is not the end of it. You have to have what we call elevated emotions, such as love, gratitude, inspiration, joy, excitement, aha moment, or wonder, to name just a few. You have to tap into the feelings you anticipate you will have when you are in that field of possibilities. It gets manifested. It is your intention, your intent, but you have to combine with the emotions of joy and what I've mentioned. Then you feel those emotions ahead of your experience. Feel them before, ahead of experience. Do you remember when you watched The Secret? There's this character in the room. He is imagining driving a car. He's just seated on a sofa, and you can see he's acting, imagining he's driving the car, and in his mind he knows the car is driving. Even as you watch the movie, you can really see the emotions are there. He's so joyous, he's so happy. He's so connected with his intention, yet it's a script. What am I actually trying to tell you in summary? All possibilities in the quantum field exist in the present moment as electromagnetic potential, meaning it's there. Tap it. How do you do it? That's what we are talking about. Now, as you have learned, emotion is energy in motion, and elevated emotion carry a higher frequency than survival emotion. So if you want to create change, you have to do it from a level of energy that is greater than guilt, greater than pain, greater than fear, greater than anger, greater than shame, and greater than unworthiness. In fact, any lower vibrational energy that you are feeling cannot carry the thought of your future dream. You have to be in an elevated emotion. It will carry only a level of consciousness equal to those limited emotions. So, elevate your emotions and you'll enter into the domain of unlimited possibilities and tap whatever there is. Therefore, if you are going to perform something that is unlimited, you'd better feel unlimited. If you want to enter or create freedom, you'd better feel free. And if you want to truly heal yourself, you'd better raise your energy to wholeness. Feel whole. The more elevated the emotions you feel, the greater the energy you broadcast and the more influence you will have on the material world of matter. And the greater your energy, the shorter the amount of time it takes for you to manifest whatever you want to appear in our human universe is made up or emits either light and information or energy and consciousness, which are other ways of describing electromagnetic energy. In fact, these elements are so intimately combined that it's impossible to separate them. Look around you, even you don't see anything other than matter, object, things, people, or places. That means not only that your body is made up of light and information, of energy and consciousness, but also that you as a conscious being with a body are made of gravitational organized light packed with information that is continuously sending and receiving various frequencies, all carrying different signals, just like a radio or a cell phone. Now, pay close attention. The visible light spectrum, where we perceive the various areas of color present in this world we live in, makes up less than 1% of all the frequencies of light that exist. That means that the majority of frequencies are beyond our perception, and therefore most of our known reality in this universe cannot be experienced in our senses. So, aside from our ability to perceive light being absorbed or reflected off objects and things, the truth is that we are able to perceive only a very small spectrum of reality in our own material reality. Therefore, a lot of other information available to us beside what we can see with our physical eyes is there, but we cannot perceive it. Remember that. When I referred to you, I said light, I am talking about all light, which includes the entire spectrum of electromagnetic frequencies. For example, even though we don't see X-rays, they still exist. We know this because we are, as human beings, have the ability to create X-rays, and we can also measure them. In fact, an infinite number of frequencies exist within the spectrum of X-ray lights. X-rays are a faster frequency than the visible light we see, and therefore have more energy because, again, the faster frequency is the higher the energy. What all this means in effect is that we are quite literally beings of light, each radiating a very vital life force and expressing an actual light field around our bodies, the totality of each cell expressing and contributing to a vital field of light that carries a message. It would be therefore safe to say, then, that the more we define reality with our senses and live our lives as materialists, focusing primarily on the physical, the more we may be missing out on valuable information. That's because the more we keep narrowing our focus on the matter, objects, things, people, and places in our outer world, the less able we are able to sense those other frequencies that aren't visible to our naked eyes. And if we are unaware of them, they do not exist to us. Yet, we've just demonstrated that they exist. So if you focus on the things that you just see and feel, which is just 1% of what that exists within the potential field of unified possibilities, what then is happening to the other 98% of things we don't know? So learn to get into that domain, and there are many techniques to help you raise your consciousness to such a level where at least you can tap the potential, pure potential. All the things I'm trying to show you, the photos, the scripts and everything, they existed even before they were created, even before they were invented. But there was that eureka moment, that aha moment. Somebody invented and started doing it. They tapped from the unified field of pure potentiality. And there's still much more to be discovered by even the generations ahead of us. We want to also be ahead. What is this that creates? What is this eureka, aha moment? Where does it come from? What is remaining? Our feelings and emotions are stored in a form of energy. Your brain monitors your chemical state, and the moment you feel angry, it's going to think more corresponding thoughts equal to how you feel. My boss is such a jerk. I should quit my job. What an idiot driver that is. My coworker stole my idea. I'm right and everyone else is wrong. It fires and wires similar circuit the same way you keep on thinking over and over again. And if you turn on enough of those circuits, you keep producing that same level of mind. This reaffirms that your identity with the same image in your brain. And then, what if instead of feeling angry, you start having thoughts that make you feel victimized or guilty? Life is too hard. I'm a bad parent. I shouldn't have been so rude. Did I do something wrong? If you take a look at these things, you'll see that the same things happens. Thinking those thoughts turn on different network of neurons in your brain. If you fire and wire enough of those networks, you produce different level of minds, and then brain creates the internal image of yourself that reaffirms your identity. You start thinking, God's going to punish me, nobody loves me, I'm worthless. Once you accept beliefs and surrender to all these guilty thoughts without any analysis, the neurotransmitters activating neural network in your brain influence a different blend of neuropeptides. Neuropeptides are small proteins made by your brain and nervous system. They act like messengers carrying signals between nerve cells. These signals help regulate various functions in your body like moods, pain, and appetite. Think of them as tiny helpers that keep your brain and body communicating smoothly. Have you ever thought of the body as a magnet? Our body just behaving like a magnet? Let me surprise you. A magnet has a measurable invisible electromagnetic field surrounding it. Yes, the magnet that has a north and south. The stronger the polarity between the north and the south pole, the more current moves through the magnet and the bigger the electromagnetic field. Now listen to this. When there is a flow of energy moving through the body, our body, just as with a magnet, there is a measurable electromagnetic field surrounding the body. When we are living in survival mode, we are drawing from the invisible field of energy around the body. We diminish our body's electromagnetic field. In addition, when energy is stuck in the first three survival centers as at the lower chakra, Because we are caught in a thinking and feeling loop, then there is less current running through the body and there is less of electromagnetic. And how do you do this? How do you change? When you've really messed your energy levels, you are filled, you are so low, you are so down, how do you energize yourself? There are simple ways of doing this, and it's been done for thousands of years. It started in the Asia, in African culture, in some places. The breath just do that. It gives us a way to pull the mind out of the body and to move all the stored energy from the first three centers up to the spine to the brain, restoring the electromagnetic field surrounding the body. That's why you see people doing breathing exercises to relax and to energize them. Once that happens, we can use that energy for things for things other than that of survival. Exhaling and inhaling does a lot of magic to our body physiology, and the whole spectrum of our quantum field. Hope in the next video I'll be able to explain that in details. Things I've learned in the recent past are so amazing. I want to share with you. Thank you. Thank you for sticking with me. That was deep. See you in part 2. Cheers.